All right, make sure you have your scratch paper out. Follow along for the Math on the Spot video.
Oh, hi, sorry. I was actually just practicing my karate, and I'm working up to a white belt, which I'm hoping to get any day now, any day. But actually, this reminds me of Tony, who's actually a much more serious person in karate than I am. I think his belt is actually much darker. But it also is a wonderful opportunity to practice looking at some equations and actually seeing how we can use equations to actually discover all sorts of things in our real world. Let's take a look at Tony's karate class. Okay, so classes at Tony's Karate School cost $29.50 per month. It's not that bad, actually. Now, this year, Tony plans to take 2 more months of classes than he did last year. The question for us is, how will this affect Tony's karate expenses? So how will this 2 more months of classes affect Tony's karate expenses? So here are the 2 basic facts that we want to start with. Basic fact number 1 is that the classes cost $29.50 per month. And fact number 2, he wants to take 2 more months of classes this year than he did last year. So what we have to figure out is that increase. How much more is he going to spend? And so here's the key thing. The increase in dollars in expenses is actually going to be equal to the product of the cost per month times the number of additional months. And so let's just think about this for a second. So if we think about the increase in dollars, and if we think about those dollars, we can give that a name. We can call it D. So let's actually call D the dollars. And now I'm going to literally translate this sentence into math. So the increase in dollars is equal, well, that's easy, the product. So we're going to multiply $29.50 times the number of additional months. So let's just put down here, let's call it X. So let's call it X. So X is going to represent the number of additional classes, and D is going to represent the dollars that are required. So now we can actually write this as D equals 29.5 times X. Don't have to write the times sign in there anymore. And that actually is a general equation. So once I know X, which is the number of months, then in fact I can plug that in and determine the increase in dollars to be spent. In this example, the X is the independent variable and the D is the dependent variable, meaning that the X could be anything, right? He could take as many months of extra classes as he wants. We don't know. But once you tell me how many months extra he's going to study karate, that will determine the additional amount of the expense. Do you see how this is determined by this? This could be anything, but this is going to be determined by that choice. So this is the independent and this is the dependent variable. Now, in our case, we have 2 more months of class. That means that, in fact, in this case, X is going to equal 2. So we have to plug in 2 here. And so in our case, we'd see that D equals 29.5 times the number 2, because I'm going to let X equal 2. And so what is 29.5 times 2? Well, that's 59. And so the answer would be that Tony's karate expenses will increase, because they're going to go up, they're more, will increase by $59. And there you have it. So notice how we took all the facts that we were given, and we were able to actually create our own equation. And once we had the equation and identified which was the independent and which was the dependent variable, we could figure out the particular value for the independent variable at this particular moment, and then insert that, and that would tell us the dependent variable, which depends upon it. Well, whether it's karate, or whether it's understanding science, or business, or technology, or mathematics, it turns out creating equations and then solving equations really is the key to everything. I'm going to go back to my karate practice now. Remember, I'm working up to a white belt, and at some point you actually have to break a piece of wood. I'm going to try that right now and see where I am. Should we try it? Here we go. Let's see. Hey!
Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.